There was total compliance of the nationwide strike by the organized labor in Asaba, Delta State, South Nigeria. The union executives and affiliate members, led by the state chairman, Trade Union Congress, went round to Asaba, the state capital, to enforce the total compliance among workers. Workers were forced out of their offices by the compliance team, led by the TUC and NLC officials. Speaking on the nationwide strike, the union leaders said Nigerians are facing a lot of economic challenges, coupled with subsidy removal that is biting harder on daily needs. Hence, the federal government should listen to the demands of the people. And to talk about this, I'm joined live on the news by public affairs commentator Gbenga Ayonuga, and as well as our correspondent Austin Azu, who is in Delta State. Good afternoon, gentlemen. Glad to have you both join me.
Thank you for having me on.
Let me start with Austin Azu in Delta State. Austin, what's the latest over there?
Currently, I'm standing front of the state secretariat. The place is totally locked down. And as usual, this place ought to be a beehive of activities at this time of the day, because it's expected that civil servants might be making their ways out of this secretariat complex. And opposite secretariat complex is a Central Bank of Nigeria, Delta State branch. Before now, takes place at this time of the day is always a beehive of activities. A lot of persons will be going home, and some other persons will be making their last preparations for the day to leave the offices. But at this time around right now, the road is dried. The vehicles are the tricycles are limited. So it means that there's a total compliance here in Delta State, particularly in Asaba, precisely. Earlier on in the day, earlier on in the morning, we had the officials of the TUC and NLC moving around the government offices, and even commercial banks were enforced compliance. Places they went to include the Secretariat, the Federal Secretariat, the State House of Assembly complex. They went to the FMC, the Federal Medical Center, the Specialist Hospital, and other offices that the TUC and NLC members went to. And of course, they asked their members to withdraw their services. And of course, the people who were on admission, patients, were asked to relocate from the hospital to a private hospital. And of course, they equally said that the compliance, they appreciated their workers, some of them who did not, fail to comply with them. And they sanctioned those who came to work in the morning and they were forced from their offices. And they said the monitoring of the exercise continues probably tomorrow and subsequently across the state.
Just hold your thoughts there, Austin. So let me go to Gbenga. I'll come back to you, Austin, in a moment. Gbenga, how do you see this collective bargaining agreement? How does it influence the decision to take industrial action? And what role do union leaders play in this process?
Well, I think the collective bargaining at this moment shows that the union leaders have learned from their previous mistake, and they have been able to put their house in order first before going to government. And the fact that government is not taking them serious with the way they are bargaining with them is making the union win the sympathy of those who normally would have sided with government, those who normally would have felt that the union leaders are not serious. But because of the way the government handled the process of bargaining, it has shown to all workers out there, to the extent that there are several police officers that I met today on my way to work before being sent back that were of the opinion that, they were saying it in Yoruba, and I was hearing when they said they are asking us to go and maintain order when these people are actually fighting for us, which kind of order they expect us to maintain. And this is the kind of thing you hardly hear from police of all people. It shows that, in a way, even police officers who would have been unleashed on these striking workers are also this time around siding with the workers. So I think that the labor union leaders have done their homework very well. And the fact that the hunger in the land, the inflationary rate in the land is hitting everybody home. And if they had wanted to go their separate way and say, we are not joining the TUC, we are not joining the NLC, they know that when they get home, their take home will not be able to take them home currently.
Which leads me to my next question, Gbenga. if I may, just to chip in there, what you said just now leads my next question, which is, what is the economic consequence of this prolonged industrial action on the affected industry, and how might this impact the broader economy?
There is no economic consequence that we have not already been facing. They will tell you that, oh, we are going to lose a lot of money from the industrial action, but we are already losing a lot of money because Nigerians don't have purchasing power to purchase products that they need for daily living. Take, for example, there are many fast-moving commodity goods companies who are complaining that many of their products are getting destroyed in their warehouse because people cannot afford to buy them. So products that ought to move out of the warehouse at a speed of maybe 10 cartons per day are moving out of their warehouse at a speed of, say, 1 carton per day. So there is no economic consequence that the government will want to explain that will be the response from this strike that we are not already facing. So I think the government needs to sit itself down and be sincere with itself. Did you know that if government had negotiated around 120,000 with labor and labor is still insisting on that?
Mr. Ayonuga, because I still have a couple of questions for you and we're pressed for time. Talking about the government, in what way can the federal government and also workers negotiate to resolve disputes and avoid industrial action?
First and foremost, government should show seriousness by the quality and quantity of their representative when they are meeting with labor union. We saw that when they were meeting with labor union, they were only sending permanent secretaries, which they can deny that the agreement made with such permanent secretary is binding. Why can't the Minister of Labor meet with labor union leaders? Why are they sending permanent secretaries? Secondly, is they must be able to realistically agree. When we first start the issue of minimum wage in 1980,
I wish we had more time. This is where we have to end this conversation on the news. Apologies for butting in there, but thank you so much for your insight on the news. Gbenga Ayonuga, public affairs commentator, as well as our correspondents there in Delta State, Austin Azul. Thank you both, gentlemen.